Yeah, today's been a pretty interesting day for niche gamers. I mean, Bloodstain got funded in like, I think it was like around 2 hours. They've got over a month left on that campaign and it's already funded. I actually just recorded a blog about it a couple hours ago. It's nice to see some genre diversity. And AAA games don't want to diversify things anymore, so we need things like Kickstarter to like actually get any kind of like diversity in games anymore. And it's a shame, but I mean at least it's working. I mean, we got some of the pretty much all the flagship franchises, you know, or genres are getting brand new games from their original creators. I can't back it right now, I'm too broke, but next month I should have some extra money. I'm gonna probably just do the $28 tier. I think it's pretty depressing. He said he went to like so many publishers and they all told him nobody wanted that kind of game. I would have told them, like, you know how many like aging 80s and 90s kids there are out right now that still play video games on a regular basis and aren't really interested in all the crap that the Western AAA studios have been putting out? Like sitting on a gold mine. It's pretty sad. Like, they don't even want to take a risk anymore on anything. I mean, when I was growing up, you know, there was always new and inventive things coming out from big studios all the time, and now it's like the only time you get anything like that is when it's either an indie game like this, which, you know, has like no funding, or it's a Kickstarter campaign. Well, that's just people who are backing it right now. There's going to be lots more people that are going to buy it when it gets released. I mean, I was born in the 80s, so you know, I was around for what's considered the golden age of gaming. And, you know, if you came from that era, if you came from the late 80s to early 90s, pretty much all the crap that's like being really promoted on PS4 right now is just like not interesting at all. The big name stuff is all really, it's not really aiming for people in my age bracket for the most part. And if it is, it's aiming for people in my age bracket who started playing games much later in life. The people who started as kids, you know, aren't really the main draw. I just want them, I want Ancient to put up a Kickstarter for Streets of Rage 4 and have Yuzo Koshiro on the music. Like, when is that gonna happen? I mean, that would probably be the kind of game that I would like fund pretty tremendously. I know River City Ransom got funded, but it's like they haven't like updated it in ages or something. So that kind of sucks. I didn't get to back that game, but I was interested in it. Like, it can't possibly cost that much to make like a Streets of Rage 4, and if it's not a Streets of Rage 4, then, you know, a beat 'em up or a similar new IP. like the golden age where, you know, you didn't have to sell like 3 million copies to like break even. That's the problem with AAA gaming right now. That's why it's grown so stale. When you have to sell like 2 million copies of something to even like barely turn a profit, nobody won't want to take a risk ever again. That's why AAA gaming is pretty much the same 3 genres, just endlessly recycled. I don't know if it was really funded 90%. I don't know if that's really accurate. I mean, it's cool that they found a publisher, but... But I think they're trying to go for a more modernized art style, which is probably why it's going to cost a lot more than a lot of other games that have been similar, like Guacamelee and Shovel Knight and stuff like that. I mean, if they can get it to look like Guilty Gear XR does, then I think they'll be able to attract at least some new people. That's probably what they're aiming for. Speaking of which, this is going to get an update in a couple days. I'll definitely be playing that. Alright, this run's pretty much trash. Well, the thing about advertising is a lot of the, you know, more mainstream games right now, like, playing them skillfully is not really, like, a selling point. Like, nobody cares about, you know, skillful advertising on, like, something like Call of Duty. But the problem is when you get stuff like this, which really needs, like, high-level gameplay, like, the marketing team just doesn't really know how to approach it. And they often push out really, like, amateurish looking footage. Like, I think what Capcom has been doing with, what they did with DMC Definitive Edition, that was, like, the coolest thing that I've seen done. I mean, they flew out the guy who played their game, you know, the previous version for, like, 1,000 hours. And they got him to do all the promotional material. We need more of that, like... And you're gonna advertise market your hardcore game to, you know, people who do that kind of stuff. You might as well get somebody who is already a master, you know? Whoa, an air dash out of a brown chest. That's a new one. Nah, they can't even be bothered to do that. It's usually just... You get stuff like the DMC2 trailer, which was like all CG. Like, that, for me, like, DMC2 was like the game that got me to stop, like, being hyped for games, like, if they only show CG. Because I was really excited for that game. I went, and at the time I lived, like, next door to a Blockbuster. I pre-ordered it there. I woke up at, like, 9:30 in the morning to pick it up, and it got it back, and it's just so disappointing. So ever since then, like, you know, you show your game like that, it's just all CG, I'm like not really interested. I think it's pretty crazy that Iga's game got such crazy, you know, support. They don't even have any gameplay footage right now. Like, not even a second of it. They definitely picked the right time to do it, in my opinion. The people who grew up with the old school Castlevanias are all at my age now, so... it's like the age bracket where you have like the most disposable income. Their timing is impeccable, but I'm still surprised it did so well without any kind of gameplay footage at all. It's probably not going to give me 5 soul nuts on the next level. This run's pretty much toast. The two enemies I hate in this game the most are those flowers and the deer that do like the underground attack. They end more runs than anything. Those and the shielded like mace guys on Eridu. They end more runs than anything else. Probably gonna do one more run and then just switch to something else. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I need to make some filler videos until all my parts come. So, after I'm done streaming tonight, I'll promote the Crazy Wiki. Hey, we need more, like, preservation in the stylish action game community, so given that's pretty much all that I play on my channel, I think it'd be a good idea for me to promote that. I'll do that later tonight after I'm done streaming. I have to wonder what the streaming situation is going to be for Sumeragi, since it's going to be on a console that, you know, doesn't really have a barrier of entry in terms of recording. But like I said in Swillow's chat, it depends on if Capcom decides to block any part of the game when it's streamed straight through a PS4, because if it's blocked like Tokiden, then nobody's going to care. It'll be like a day or two of people streaming it on Nico, and then all that will be left is the people like me who have an external capture card. Actually, the songs being muted would be a good thing in the long run, because I mean, less people getting instant copyright strikes because, you know, TM Revolution said like one syllable. I would actually welcome if they did that, if they just muted the licensed songs. That's why a lot of people don't stream Basara or record it. One of the reasons. Yeah, TM Revolution said like 2 syllables. Time to just mute your entire video. Give you a copyright strike. I would love it if they just like muted that entirely if you just streamed it through PS4. That would be the best like possible thing they could do. I think they'd be able to get more awareness and they wouldn't scare so many people off with all those copyright claims. I remember when Tales of Graces came out on Wii, and I put up the intro just to like show that I was going to be covering the game, and within like a second of me uploading the video and it processing, it was already muted. And that happens with Basara too, so if they're smart, they'll just mute the licensed songs. Alright, I think I unlocked all the items. I'm gonna do one more run to see if there's anything left to unlock, and if there's not, then I'm just gonna stop playing this until the update, which I think is tomorrow? It's either tomorrow or Wednesday. Trash item. Recently I've started picking up that item when I actually have mobility and speed, but I don't like picking it up when it's the first thing because mobility is so important in this game. It's not worth it. I don't know, when I was looking for Basara footage on Nico, like the day before it came out, like most of those people aren't really hardcore oriented. You know, they like the character designs and the stories and stuff, and they enjoy the gameplay at a casual level, but there's very few of them who actually, you know, do guides and stuff like we do. Every now and then you get a really cool, like, tag combo video, but not really a whole lot of video information. I think that's one thing the English Basara community has over the Japanese. It's kind of interesting. Like, their most hardcore fans that actually play their games, most of them aren't in Japan. You know, it's like the people who have to jump through all these hoops to import them are the ones that do all the crazy stuff. I think Basara 4 being digital helped bring in some new people, but I mean, until they localize it, it's always going to be a small community. I think we'll see more people like putting up videos and guides and stuff. Well, that's what I hope will happen. But that's all dependent on Capcom if they decide to limit their game. You know, when it's streamed through a PS4. That's what's really going to come down to. Like, look at Tokida and Kiwami. Like, I remember I was curious. I looked to see how many people were, you know, newcomers to that game because it was on PS4. And then I found out that when you stream it through a PS4, it's muted. It's like a 1920s, like, silent film when you stream that through the PS4. And because of that, like, the game has zero presence on Twitch at all. They really shot themselves in the foot because Monster Hunter has a pretty budding community on Twitch. Like, my friend Omega, you know, got partner and he got a sub button off that game. It's like, if they want to be taken seriously as a Monster Hunter competitor, like, you shouldn't punish people who are trying to stream your game and advertise it for free. So, I hope Basara doesn't do that. We all know they could use, like, more sales. Like, the first day there was like a dozen or so streams of Tokiden, and then once everybody found out there was no sound, they were all gone instantly. Like within the next day, like all those people who were streaming it just disappeared, and for good reason. I mean, it's one thing to like file a copyright strike on a, you know, somebody who's like making like thousands off your game, but you know, some little person on here, you know, streaming to like 3 of his friends should be able to do that without any dumb limitations. Wow, that was a troll. I don't think I can get around that. Alright, well, let's see. Are there any other items to unlock? Nope, I cleared the unlock pool. Let me see when the next update is. I believe it's tomorrow. Oh, Wednesday. Wait. It's 2 weeks from the 29th. Yeah, Wednesday. Alright, well, I'm not playing that until Wednesday. Alright. I was thinking of torturing myself. Yeah, let's try some torture here. Just hold on a minute. Gotta load it up. Going to torture myself on stream. Not in the way you think. You're going to see me suffer live. I'm going to try to play boost mode on this. This stupid game, it didn't save my controls. I did this last night off stream and it didn't save any of it. I've always wanted to play the beat 'em up mode on this, but the controls are just awful. Guilty Gear Judgment is like a night and day improvement. They removed the turning. They removed the turning and simplified the inputs. Alright, I gotta back out. Hold on. I actually played Iska a lot when it was a new game. At Golfland, they had it. They had like an actual cabinet of it. They actually put some work into that cabinet too. They had like 4 players. We used to play with like Potemkin and just do his forward heavy slash, his 6H, and you could just pinball enemies with that. Like if you got on both sides, you could just like take off their whole health bar. It's not a bad game, it's just the turn button kind of killed any momentum they had. I know that for a fact because I played this game like right when it came out. Yeah, and people were interested in it at first. You know, it's like cool, like a 4-player fighting game. Nobody's ever really done that before. But the turn button just destroyed any chances it had of like actually succeeding. Oh, it saved my controls. I don't know why it was all weird when I logged into the game. Go ahead and try one more time. And if it doesn't, then it's probably it for tonight.
Please select your character.
I wonder who the best character in this mode is.
Good.
Oh my god, these controls. Okay, I'm done. I can't do it. Those controls are just awful. I really want to play that mode. It seems like the perfect game for me. The controls are just awful. You just get like you're always facing the wrong direction. That's my problem with it. It looks like a lot of fun, something I would probably like speedrun or something, but it's just I can't even get past the first level. That's what I meant by Eternal Torment in my stream title. I wanted to I keep trying to give that game a chance, and it's just I can't ever get past the first level. The controls are just unforgivable. Well, they fixed it in Judgment. Judgment doesn't have a turn button. And they changed the way that the moves work without, taking any out. So that's how they fixed it. They just fixed it by making another game. That was before the era of, significant game patches. So, a year and a half later, they put out Guilty Gear Judgment, and that's, a really great, revitalization of the format. Guilty Gear Judgment, basically the main differences are, it works like a regular beat 'em up. Like, when you you know, push left, your character faces left. When you push right, your character faces right. And instead of trying to have full parity with the button layout for, you know, the actual game, they changed it to a three button attack system and X's jump. So that removes jumping off the triggers, which is one of the other awful things about that mode. So there's no turning, you have manual jumping. Works a lot better. I was really excited. I remember I heard when that mode came out, it's like, cool, I get to play like a Guilty Gear beat 'em up, like, you know, let me buy like 12 copies. And then I played it and I'm like, I can't even play this for more than like 5 minutes. Yeah, they fixed the moveset, they fixed the controls. They compromised it enough to make it like actually work, but it's still really solid beat 'em up. I would love to see them try again with XR. Like, I would buy that in a heartbeat. You know, they put out like a beat 'em up with like the XR characters on like Vita or something. Like, I'd be there like second one. If they kept it like Judgment and they added more humanoid bosses, or at least bosses that staggered, like, that would be like my dream game. But I don't think it will ever happen because Guilty Gear Judgment got dismissed as a, you know, a cheap spin-off, which is pretty much what it was, but definitely one of the better cheap cash-ins I've ever played. Well, the jumping on a button is, you know, as traditional as it could be. You know, it's mapped on, you know, the bottom button on your face buttons. That was like the least offensive they could make it. Alright, I'm gonna do some Shodan, and then probably gonna call it a night. I like that they made new sprites for the Guilty Gear Judgment game, but the problem with it was you only had one boss that actually like reacted to your attacks. All the other bosses were just like stationary. Most of them were stationary, or they couldn't be like staggered in any way. That's why Judgment is the easiest boss in that game, once you learn his pattern. Yes. All the combos you use on the generic mooks like actually work on him.
Oh no. Run for your life, little ninja.
Yeah, I saw the costumes, but those achievements look stupid. Who in their right mind thought, like, beating Dante without getting hit was a good achievement? It takes, like, 2 hours to get there. Like, only the most bored, like, dedicated person is gonna go for that achievement. I wonder if they took out the AI exploit with Nero to just put Dante in an AI loop, because if they took that out, then I will never go for that achievement. The first time that I finished a Bloody Palace, I did that exploit because it took me like 2.5 hours to get there. That was like within like the first like week of the game, so a lot of the broken stuff hadn't been discovered yet. As soon as I knew about that exploit, I did it, and I got a bunch of hate mail because of it. You can go back and look at that video if you want. I was like one of the first people to show that. I don't know. I mean, I did a lot for DMC4. Like, I had a lot of the first, like, major videos out for it, but the reason I fell off as a player is because I didn't have the PC version. The thing about that game right now, anyway, is, like, if you want to take that game seriously, you have to have the PC version. There's just no other way to go about it. If you're still playing on console, you're at a huge disadvantage in terms of, like, actually having the resources to learn how to play it. That's why I never really went back to that game after the metagame was, you know, more realized. I've only had the PC version for like a year. It's definitely one thing that DMC did right. You know, it had a training mode on all the versions. So at least it was a little easier for someone to try to get interested in doing that kind of stuff, but DMC4, nope. It's PC version or don't even try at all. That's why the community for that game is so small.
You're the bomb. Cowabunga! Freeze time. Even awesome.
Wow, how did I miss that? terrible fight. Like the worst. You should have been done by now. Terra bad. It's really hard to beat him in the optimal fight, because you have to get the double hit like 3 times in a row. Let's go for the stylish finish. Best way to finish that boss is when he puts a platform in the corner and you do like a max distance double jump and then you do the spin attack for his last 3 health. That was a pretty bad run towards the end. The hardest part of speedrunning this game is beating the one-armed ninja in like a couple cycles, because you can hit him twice each time that he flashes, but you have to be like frame perfect or whatever. I don't know if it's what the frames are in this game, but the window to hit him twice is really small, and you can do 6 damage to him every time that he flashes. So every time you miss that, you lose a couple seconds, because it takes at least like, I don't know the exact number, but it takes like at least like 3 to 4 seconds for him to flash again. So optimally, every time he flashes, you hit him twice, and that's how you get like a perfect like quick kill. But I've never done it. I think I've done like the double hit like twice in one fight, like once out of the like million times I've completed this game. I wish this game had replays. I would like to see if the current like world record got any double hits or not, or if they just got like a really good tower. But I don't think this game sold well enough for them to warrant updating it. When this game had a speedrun community, we were pushing for seeded runs like the Binding of Isaac Rebirth has, so that we could do races and stuff, but they never really got around to doing it. I know it was a struggle for them to even put DLC in this game, because they had to get it approved by the higher-ups. The DLC for this game is great. This mode that I just played, the speedrun mode here with all the built-in splits and stuff, this was actually like post-release DLC that they put out like a couple months later. I wish this game really took off. I mean, it's such a fun game. It's just a shame they weren't really able to expand on it that much. This is like one of my most played games on Steam, and it's like a 7-minute game. That's how awesome it is. It's just the replay value is so much fun. Once you like memorize all the rooms and you can actually go through the game fast, it's never really gets old. I can always boot up this game and play it for like 10-20 minutes. I hope someday that they'll like make a sequel or something and have more of a social aspect, like, you know, seeded runs for races, like replays and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that Crypt of the Necrodancer has, like that game has some really cool features. You can watch replays from a leaderboard. It has like a built-in timer. You can automatically skip cutscenes. I wish this game had stuff like that. But that's enough of that for now. I don't think I'm going to do anything else tonight. Probably going to go grab a snack. And the DFO stream is going to start in like an hour and a half. An hour and 45 minutes actually. If you're playing that at all lately, you should check out that stream when they put it up, because they're going to be doing the time gate update. People are really hoping for the female Slayer, but I have my thoughts that they might try to push that back longer. I know that they're localizing that game on a shoestring budget, and the gold bots have like given them such a huge workload. They're probably gonna like try to stretch the female Slayer release as long as humanly possible. That's the last subclass in the game right now that has all 4 subclasses. So it's like the most substantial, like, playable character update they're going to be able to do in a long time. So I hope when I watch the stream in an hour and 45 minutes that they actually have that, they have her in there, because I never really got to play on her before my Korean account got party banned. So that'll be fun to see. But I think I'm done for now. If you want to know, yeah, they're doing the Timegate update. It's going to be launching early in the morning tomorrow. Yeah, they're going to be doing a stream about it in like an hour and a half. So if you're interested, you can go head over there. We don't really know what's going to be added, but like I said, don't hold your breath for the female Slayer, because they're strapped for cash. I know they have like 10 people working on the game, and I imagine probably like half of them are just trying to prevent the economy from just being destroyed. Like right now, the gold farmers are going nuts and overpricing things. So I don't know what's going to happen. I have my fingers crossed, because I really want to play that class. Like, I hear they're like one of the most fun classes in the game. Male Mage is not going to get his other 2 classes anytime soon. The Koreans hate the Knight with a passion, so I don't think she's going to get her other 2 classes anytime soon either. So they're probably like holding out as long as they possibly can. That's like the biggest update they're going to be able to do. The rest of the stuff is all like geared towards endgame, which is not as lucrative because most people don't even get to the endgame in that game because of how crazy the grind gets once you get to Ghent. But I think I'm going to stop now. I'm getting hungry. I'm going to go make a bag of popcorn, probably find something to watch. Actually, I'll find someone for you guys to raid, so you can stick around, find somewhere to send you guys. If you're interested in the computer, in me doing more interesting things, my parents texted me today and they said that they sent me the video card. So whenever that comes, I already have all the other parts here. I should be back in business. You'll probably see me doing some tests and stuff. So that should be, I don't know how long the card is going to take. I live only a state away from my parents, so I would say probably Friday or Saturday the latest. I'll be back in action fully, hopefully, barring any more bad luck that happens. So just a couple more days of this low-key stuff. Let's see who's on. I could send you guys to. No one that I really know is on right now. Kind of a boring night for streaming. All the excitement was earlier today with the Egavania campaign and stuff. I'm gonna send you guys over to Mecha Victor. It's kind of a good target for today. You can head over there. He's doing Richter attempts. If you like watching someone reset in the first like 10 seconds over and over, you can head over there. He's really good at the game, but it's a really reset heavy game. So I'm gonna head over there. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I may have the computer fixed as early as tomorrow. Peace.